does the league provide for you guys as players to kind of help you try to filter through some of the hate and negative things that come through on social media? I think that honestly, I don't know what our league does to help with that if they really do anything, you can put out statements as much as you want, but at the end of the day, you're in an entertainment business. That's when mental toughness comes. And if you're going to live by praise, you're going to die by the hate. And so I think that's on the individual person to have mental toughness. Some people can deal with it, some people can't. And I think you can see the ones who can't. And unfortunately, there are some who can't, and it's not beneficial to them. But you can't control what other.
Really don't like a lot of the messaging around Caitlin Clark, and I feel like if you're paying attention, you would notice like there's like a subtle infantilizing of her, or like a damsel in distress of her, like, oh, poor Caitlin Clark, she's going up against all these animals who are brutalizing her, she's being attacked, she's being targeted, she's being assaulted on the court, she's playing basketball, and the girls are playing rough, all of them. Basketball was like that before Caitlin Clark joined, and basketball would be like that after Caitlin Clark joined. The men's league is like that, so it just seems like the women are catching up. But it's like this whole messaging around her being like this poor damsel in distress who is being targeted by her black teammates or other black teammates, and now there's this new member who's going to show up and protect her against those animals that are always targeting her. I'm like, maybe I'm just too woke for my own good, because I just see through it all. Like, sometimes you really just want things to be about basketball.
People say, or what other people do. All you can do is control yourself, how you treat people to speak up, and support people who maybe don't have a voice or don't have the courage to do that. But it's one of those things. You're in the entertainment business, and you have to expect it. How do you try to filter through some of that stuff for you to avoid it? I don't know if you guys don't know, but I don't care. I don't care. And I think that's with the good stuff, like the meme. I think that's funny and it's cool, but is that my whole identity and that's what I'm thriving on? No. It's not like I think it's funny, but yeah, I just don't care. I think people are funny, people are dumb, and they let them do them. I'm just gonna stay in my life. Sophie Gordon-Gomez came out with a nice little dig to Alyssa Thomas after her situation, where she came out and basically said, oh, this has happened. I can't believe I was suspended for a game. I can't believe they treated.
Why is the WNBA so hesitant, Dave, to embrace Caitlin Clark, and sometimes feels like actively antagonistic?
Well, it's the worst marketed league in the history of leagues. They're absolute morons. You'll see this get politicized. I don't think it really is because she's a white girl, a straight girl, which people say, because the W has had a lot of white superstar and WNBA players. Nobody has ever come into the league like she has, and it's jealousy and it's just not knowing where your bread is buttered. They don't like that she has been crowned this queen of the league before she even showed up, and there's pressure probably from the players to the league that they don't want her getting a special. She gets nothing. She gets treated and attacked and harassed differently than virtually every player. She's had it since she entered the league, but it is a very rough and tumble league to begin with. There's other you see chippy plays and things like that, but people are watching Caitlin specifically. People are watching the league specifically for Caitlin, and you see her getting abused and no whistle and no suspensions, and you'd have quotes from team owners, from players, from the commissioner that was just asinine. They just don't want to accept how important she is. The only reason they are flying private is because of her. The only reason they have a new CBA is because of her. But somehow it's seen as a sign of disrespect to the players that came before or whatever, if you give her flowers for that.
Me this way, playing the game, being suspended, just the whole narrative that's being painted out there. At the end of the day, you're in an entertainment business. That's what mental softness comes in. Cook Sophie. They F the haters and nasties and move on. Now Sophie Cunningham is not just going to hold back and just not say anything. Caitlin Clark did the rounds yesterday. She was very polite. She's the face of the league. Let's be real, right? But Sophie Cunningham, she's saying how it is. Basically, she's saying, you know what? Caitlin Clark's been attacked. The WNBA commissioner doesn't care. The refs are shit. Gonna complain about. Well, guess what? Get on with it. Deal with it. Because you is the one, Alyssa Thomas, who ended up trying to attack Caitlin Clark. Wasn't you? I love Sophie Cunningham so much. Her skin is tough. Some of these other WNBA players.
Ever notice when Caitlin Clark is the victim, she never plays the role of the victim? She always takes the high road in these situations. She did it back in the day with Angel Reese. All these controversies. I love what Caitlin Clark said. I do love that she took the high road here, saying this cannot happen to any player in the league, no matter what the situation is, players, coaches, whatever. But she also took the time, which I loved, to basically told the league to be better communicating. She also mentioned the officiating very subtly. I'm going to say it with an exclamation point. The bad officiating in the WNBA has led to most of this minutia. Yeah, most of this controversy. All of these controversies. Be better, officials. Is there an agenda here that I don't know about? Speaking of agendas, congratulations to Caitlin Clark. 3 straight years named and voted an All-Star Game starter. That's the great news. 2nd most votes by the fans for Caitlin Clark. The media, 3rd most votes for Caitlin Clark by members of the media. What about other players in the WNBA? How do they feel about Caitlin Clark and how she is as a guard? Well, they ranked her 11th best among guards.
Are just crybabies who seek attention because they don't get it. Now, the media, by the way, is going crazy because they think. So this woman believes that Caitlin Clark is some sort of a victim. People are idolizing this, and people are going too far into it and basically saying, well, everyone gets this kind of treatment, that it's basketball and, they're professionals. So, people are going too far with this. Okay, hold on a minute. Did you see what happened? Did you not see it? How could you possibly say that, oh yeah, this is basketball and that this is too much, that newbies to the league the last few years? I've only even started watching it because of Kate and Clark, which would be most of the league. By the way, because no one was watching it before her anyway, are not used to the physicality of the league. No, they're used to it, and I'm sure they watch the NBA as well. Usually they're not fighting one another, targeting the one person, the face of the league, one that clearly has more popularity, the one that they attack her basically every game. And it's not just the players, it's the refs as well who don't care. It's the refs that just don't call her. And by the way, when Caitlin Clark fouls, when it's like a little hand like that, guess what happens? Foul, straight away. Whereas when this happens to Caitlin Clark, hold on, I didn't see it, game on. Keep playing. Quite a big misconception here, and I believe fans in the WNBA don't realize, still not realizing that Caitlin Clark is the face of the league, and secondly, don't like that people are sticking up for her. I can't believe the outrage after this Alyssa Thomas situation, that there's been so many on the other side saying she kind of deserves it, or well, she is that type of player who gives it, she needs to take IT'd, and oh no, she doesn't give it and starts punching people. No, she gives it because she's a competitive player, and she trash talks that you're supposed to trash talk back. You're not supposed to punch her back to the floor. It's crazy, that it's mental. Yeah, this isn't normal, and if this was normal, why isn't it happening to everyone else? Why ain't everyone starting fighting each other? Because it barely happens that IT doesn't happen to anyone else. Crazy the situation that we have to explain it to these people, that we have to explain what's really going on, because they kind of have this idea that Caitlin Clark's playing this some sort of victim card, when in reality, if you watch every game, she's clearly getting targeted. By the way, what do you think about this situation, guys? Sophie Cunningham, by the way, what it's to her man, she just comes out and she don't give a shit. She just says it how it is. And that's what we love. That's what we need. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe if you're new. It only happens to her. And going crazy. that Caitlin Clark is being drawn out to be a crybaby.